Welcome back to Uncle on the Internet. Okay, so tonight we're at this vid by Naomi Cannibal, and it's called Artists' Most Hated and Regretted Songs. If I had money for every hated song that was out there, them songs that make you as the public just think, what the fuck were they thinking when they put this out there? Like what? Like were they high or something? Yeah, there's many of those. But yeah, I'm just gonna dive right in, so I'm curious to see what songs are gonna be on this. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Looks like something like Stupid Ho or something you want to hear.
Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will be talking about songs that artists have regretted recording. And this regret can come for a lot of reasons and at different points in time. Because sometimes the artist didn't mind recording the song at the time, and then later they're like, oh my god, I hate this, what was I thinking? And then in other cases, the artist never wanted to record the song to begin with. And I mean, y'all know me by now. If you're new, you don't know me, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. But if you do know me by now, you know that this will not just be a list of they regret this, they regret that, they regret this, but more so also giving you the background of maybe why the song came about in the first place and some context as to why they regret it. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Lady Gaga wasn't a huge fan of Telephone even while the song was still in production. Originally, she'd written it for Britney Spears, and it was intended for her album Circus. When Britney didn't use it, Telephone ended up on Gaga's album The Fame Monster, the reissue of her debut album. Gaga added a Beyoncé feature to her version of Telephone, and both rewrote some of the lyrics. Telephone peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 and earned Beyoncé and Gaga a VMA for Best Collaboration. Gaga wrote
Who hasn't heard this song?
How busy she was now that her career was taking off, and it was meant to depict the suffocating feeling of her newfound fame. In 2011, she said she hated the song, and it was the most difficult of hers to listen to. Gaga said about this, ultimately, the mix and the process of getting the production finished was very stressful for me. So when I say it's my worst song, it has nothing to do with the song, just my emotional connection to it. Ironically, despite Gaga's feelings, both the song and the video for Telephone were smash successes. The video went viral just hours after its release and is an experience in itself. The 10-minute video is basically a short film full of iconic outfits, lines, and dance moves. Bea and Gaga play as Thelma and Louise-esque femme fatales, but their ending is much happier. Surprisingly, Gaga has said she's not a fan of the video either. She believed it was all over the place, too full of ideas, and didn't make good use of its large budget. She said, all I see in that video is my brain throbbing with ideas, and I wish I'd edited it myself a bit more. Gaga dislikes the video so much that she has since said that she won't even watch it. Still, Telephone has been considered one of the best pop collabs of all time, but I guess Gaga's feelings about the song and the video might partly be an explanation as to why we never got a part 2. Gaga has also expressed remorse over Do What You Want, her song with R. Kelly.
Ooh.
In several interviews, Gaga
I actually like that song.
Good,
I feel bad, I actually like that song. That's the thing, right? I actually liked that song, but of course, and I feel bad for you saying that, because, you know, who was featured on it, who the featured artist was on it, and all the controversy and all the shit he's done. So yeah, I mean, she still could have released the solo version of it and put it on the album, but I'm just saying.
R. Kelly would make it even better. Gaga also shot a video for Do What You Want, directed by photographer Terry Richardson. The concept of the video showed R. Kelly as a doctor who put Gaga under, and then a party ensues. The video was eventually scrapped due to backlash, most of it surrounding Gaga's decision to work with Richardson despite the allegations against him. In 2019, Gaga apologized for collaborating with R. Kelly and Terry Richardson and promised to remove Do What You Want from all streaming platforms. This was shortly after the release of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. Gaga said in a Twitter statement, "What I am hearing about the allegations against R. Kelly is absolutely horrifying and indefensible. As a victim of sexual assault myself, I made both the song and video at a dark time in my life. My intention was to create something extremely defiant and provocative because I was angry and still hadn't processed the trauma that had occurred in my life." Gaga went on to give examples of other times she stood up against assault and said that had she been in therapy at the time, she likely would have approached the situation differently. She said she was young at the time and apologized for not speaking up sooner.
Damn.
In 2008, Katy Perry released her single, I Kissed a Girl.
So what do you think about songs nowadays like Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl? Do you like that song? I don't think she's kissed a girl.
I don't think she has either.
Of course, Katy received backlash for the song due to its mention of experimentation and bisexuality. Others were upset about the song because they felt like it trivialized and exploited queerness for the male gaze. Some of the lyrics suggest that girls kissing girls
what, queerbaiting?
just for fun and isn't at all serious. Katy's own mother spoke out, telling the Daily Mirror, "It clearly promotes homosexuality, and its message is shameful and disgusting. Katy is our daughter and we love her, but we strongly disagree with how she's conducting herself at the moment." Despite its controversy, I Kissed a Girl went number 1, rising quickly from its debut spot at number 76. Katy later said that in I Kissed a Girl, she was in a way opening up conversations she felt some people were afraid to have, yet was on the tip of everyone's tongues. Katy also said I Kissed a Girl was about the magical beauty of women, and that the way that girls are typically more touchy-feely and intimate than men are. To her, the song wasn't about necessarily changing one's sexuality, but about drunken curiosity. Moving further into the pop space is what Katy said helped her write music about things she previously wouldn't have thought to express in music. About a decade later, in 2017, Katy opened up and said the song was about more than the lyrics had implied. She said, "I'm just a singer-songwriter, honestly. I speak my truths and I paint my fantasies into these little bite-sized pop songs. For instance, I kissed a girl and I liked it. Truth be told, I did more than that." The following year, in 2018, Katy expressed regret over some of the stereotypes in I Kissed a Girl. She said in an interview with Glamour, "That was in 2008 when it came out. I think we've really changed conversationally in the past 10 years. We've come a long way. Bisexuality wasn't as talked about back then, or any type of fluidity. If I had to write that song again, I would probably make an edit on it. Lyrically, it has a couple stereotypes in it. Your mind changes so much in 10 years and you grow so much. What's true for you can evolve."
Obviously, a lot can change within 10 years.
Lana Del Rey has admitted she regrets the line in Ultraviolence, the title track from her 2014 album. The song is about a toxic abusive relationship between Lana, or the speaker in the song, and a man named Jim. There's been a lot of speculation as to who Jim is. Jim could be just another one of the many references Lana makes to Jim Morrison. Since Ultraviolence is about a so-called cult leader Lana met, the name Jim could also be a reference to Jim Jones, the leader of Jonestown Settlement. Most likely, the name is a reference to a guru Lana knew. She said about him, "He surrounded himself with young girls, and he had this insane charisma I couldn't resist as well. So I was in this, I'll call it sect, because I was longing for love and security. But then I found out that this guru wasn't a good but a bad person. He thought that he had to break people first before he could build them up again. At the end, I left the sect." According to Genius, the sect Lana might be talking about is the Atlantic Group, which is part of Alcoholics Anonymous and is apparently known for their cult-like behavior. One of the group's leaders was named Jim, meaning this could be who Lana is referencing in Ultraviolence. Lana came under fire for the particular lyric in the song, "He hit me and it felt like a kiss." For obvious reasons, this lyric was criticized for seemingly romanticizing DV, something Lana has been accused of more than once. "He hit me and it felt like a kiss" is the title of a 1962 song by the Crystals. The song was inspired by Little Eva, who at the time babysat for the songwriters Carole King and Jerry Goffin. Little Eva was in an abusive relationship and claimed her partner's violence was motivated by his love for her. Little Eva was a recording artist in her own right, best known for The Locomotion, also written by Goffin and King. The title, "He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss," was meant to describe the confusing nature of DV and how at times abuse can be confused for love. Courtney Love and her band Hole covered the song in 1994. Aside from using the phrase in Ultraviolence, Lana was also criticized for using the song title in the lyrics saying, "Give me all of that ultraviolence." The word ultraviolence, which sounds like ultraviolet, comes from A Clockwork Orange. In 2017, Lana admitted she no longer liked the "He hit me and it felt like a kiss" line and began to omit it from live performances. She told Pitchfork, "I don't like it. I don't sing it. I sing ultraviolence, but I don't sing that line anymore. Having someone be aggressive in a relationship was the only relationship I knew. I'm not going to say that that was 100% true, but I do feel comfortable saying what I was used to was a difficult, tumultuous relationship, and it wasn't because of me. It didn't come from my end." Despite her aim to depict even the most terrible parts of relationships in her music, Lana said she realizes the lyric might be triggering to some of her fans and removed it for that reason. I tried to find what she replaces it with instead, but in the clips I found of live performances from 2017 to 2019, it still seems like she performs the original version of the song. I did notice in some performances, Lana doesn't sing the "He hit me" part live and lets the backtrack play in its place, then comes back in on the "It felt like a kiss" part of the song with her own live vocals.
Cute.
Well, most of us already know about Nikki's
Oh.
distaste for Starships and Anaconda, she also dislikes Your Love, the lead single from Pink Friday.
Oh, I heard about
Nicki
this.
never even planned to release Your Love officially, and only did so after the song leaked online and made its way to the radio. The leaked version was a demo Nicki recorded back in 2008, and the song was re-recorded and remastered for Pink Friday. It actually samples the Annie Lennox song No More I Love Yous. Nicki
Yeah.
only decided to put out Your Love after demand from fans. She said about this, "I was not planning on putting the song out at all, but then I heard it one day, someone told me it was online. And I was like, no way in the world is that song out. I went and listened to it and was really upset. It wasn't mixed, it wasn't finished, it wasn't anything. I wasn't going to use it at all. But then the radio started playing it." Your Love marked Nicki's first solo entry on the Billboard charts, with the song peaking at number 14. When Nicki announced her dislike for Your Love back for the first time in 2020, this of course upset some of her fans who either just really liked the song or
Wait, what did the tweet say? Hold on.
first solo entry on the Billboard charts, with the song peaking at number 14. When Nicki announced her dislike for Your Love back for the
Okay. I have never heard your love slander until Nicki herself. What a world. What can I say? Some artists put out songs back in the day which they don't like anymore. They probably liked it at the time, but now they're just like, nah. It is what it is. It is. Same thing as artists and designers, right? Like, some people have designed some things which they liked at the time, but then they look back on it years later and they're like, actually, I don't really like it. It's so unpolished. Trust me, I'm one of those. Do you think some of my final projects from like when I was like 16, I still like them now at 24? Nah. I look back on them fondly, but the end product, I'm kind of like, nah, not really.
first time in 2020, this of course upset some of her fans who either just really liked the song or had a sentimental attachment to it since it was one of her earliest. Nicki has said despite not liking Your Love, she does like the video. The theatrical set and backdrop seem partly inspired by No More I Love Yous. But Nicki's video depicts her as a samurai in training who doesn't end up with her love after she meets her untimely end. This probably doesn't come as a surprise, but Zayn has said he dislikes most of the songs he recorded while part of One Direction. Despite being in one of the most popular boy bands of all time, Zayn felt like One Direction's music was generic. The more pop-heavy music wasn't his style, and when he tried to infuse more R&B into the group's music, his suggestions weren't taken. Zayn said in a Fader interview, "There was never any room for me to experiment creatively in the band. If I would sing a hook or a verse slightly R&B or slightly myself, it would always be recorded 50 times until there was a straight version that was pop, generic as fuck, so they could use that version. Whenever I would suggest something, it was like it didn't fit us. I wasn't 100% behind the music. It wasn't me. It was music that was already given to us, and we were told this is what was going to sell to people." One Direction's music was definitely targeted to a younger teen girl demographic. Because of this, Zayn found the music to be a bit juvenile in a sense, and said it wasn't the type of music someone his age would listen to with their girl at a party. It is important to remember Zayn didn't initially plan on being in a group, as all the members of One Direction auditioned for the X Factor individually and were later turned into a group to compete on the show. At that point, the choice had been to either join One Direction or be eliminated entirely. Though the group placed in third, they did sign a contract with Simon Cowell's label Psycho, which put them on track to be one of the best-selling musical acts over the next few years. As we all
How
know,
many people that are signed to Psycho Records or won the X Factor in this country are still being talked about? Because a lot of them I have not heard about since the year that they won X Factor. Well, with the exception of One Direction, Little Mix, of course. The others, where are they? I don't hear much about them now. I think we're still putting out music, even if they are not even part of Simon's label, that's for sure.
Eventually left One Direction in 2015 and pursued a solo career. He's since released 3 albums, and his recent return to social media has fans speculating he might announce his 4th soon. Miley Cyrus has opened up about disliking her patriotic pop hit, Party in the USA. The song was released back in 2009 when Miley was around 16. It's since been hailed as an unofficial national anthem of sorts, being played.
One of my friends loves this song.
And jokingly mentioned regarding political matters. Party in the USA talks about Miley's Hollywood life of the past few years and how it was different from growing up in Nashville. The song was originally written by Jessie J, still with a similar theme, but about her move from England to the States. After Jessie didn't use it, the song was then offered to Miley, which she recorded while filming the Hannah Montana movie. Party in the USA peaked at number 2 in the Hot 100, making it Miley's highest charting song until Wrecking Ball went number 1. According to the New York Post, Miley once told a DJ not to play Party in the USA at an event. She did, however, request her song Can't Be Tamed. Back when they were married, Liam Hemsworth posted an Instagram story of himself singing Party in the USA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Party in the USA. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Molly.
My ears are hurting.
Yeah, yeah. You started a podcast in the morning, and you're going to finish it on your afternoon walk.
Jesus.
To which Miley responded, I hate it, but for some reason the people love it. Miley has explained that she's grateful for the song's success, but doesn't feel like Party in the USA is representative of her as an artist. First, she recorded the song as a teenager nearly half her lifetime ago. Miley also said she doesn't like how her voice sounds and that she, probably referring to her personal identity, can't really be heard in the song. Though she dislikes Party in the USA, Miley is aware of its cultural impact. She said in an interview with Kimmel, one thing that's become pretty amazing about Party in the USA is it's become a song that represents victory. It's played when teams win. When you write a song or create a song like Party in the USA, you never know what it's going to become or what it will represent 10 years later.
Very true.
Ironically, Miley also dislikes the video for Wrecking Ball. She announced this on the Zach Sang Show while playing a game of F, Marry, Kill with some of her songs. Miley said she would marry The Climb, F7 Things, and kill Wrecking Ball. She explained, saying, that's something you can't take away. Swinging around naked on a wrecking ball lives forever. Once you do that, it's forever. I'm never living that down. I will always be the naked girl on the wrecking ball. Miley did
She's not wrong about that.
The song itself, which she does still perform. As is understandable considering it's an emotional song, Miley's often cried.
I'll talk about the end if I remember.
The Wrecking Ball. And she said the song has never gotten any easier to perform, despite it being a decade old at this point. Kanye West has spoken up about his dislike for Gold Digger, arguably
that song was a banger, bro.
And likely still. Kanye released Gold Digger back in 2005 as the second single from his album Late Registration. Gold Digger samples Ray Charles' I Got a Woman. Jamie Foxx, who actually played Ray Charles in his biopic, is featured on the song. A lot of people think Kanye made this song after the biopic, but he had been working on Gold Digger since 2003 and even performed an early version of the song with John Legend. Kanye hadn't intended to keep Gold Digger and actually made it for the rapper Shauna's debut album. When she didn't take the song, Kanye rewrote the chorus and wrote some verses for himself. Originally, the chorus was from a woman's perspective rather than a man's. Initially, it was, I ain't saying I'm a gold digger, but I ain't messing with no broke niggas. Kanye workshopped and performed other versions of Gold Digger, eventually reworking the production to make it sound more hip-hop. Gold Digger originally had a different sample, but Kanye went with I Got a Woman and included Jamie on it after seeing the Ray biopic. Kanye admitted in a 2013 interview with Zane Lowe that he never really liked Gold Digger, but he knew he had a hit on his hands and it would make him money to continue making more music. And Kanye was correct. The song earned him his first #1 single. It became the second longest #1 of 2005, just behind Mariah Carey's We Belong Together.
She ain't messing with no broke niggas. There you go.
From the top spot. Camila Cabello has expressed disdain for OMG, one of her earlier solo singles. The song is heavily trap influenced and includes a feature from Quavo. OMG was meant to be the lead single from her 2018 self-titled album. Her label wanted OMG, but Camila herself wanted Havana. She suggested the label release OMG and Havana at the same time to see which single performed better. Camila said about this, everybody was like, it doesn't have enough production. It's not radio friendly enough. It feels too slow. It's a cool piece, but people won't get it. Only Latin people will get this. And I was just like, let's put it out and see what happens. Camila said even her own family felt that way. And I don't know about y'all, but to me, Havana sounds like a song that was intended to impact radio, so it's odd to hear that. But I guess hindsight is 2020. Even if Havana hadn't become a smash hit, making it a single was still probably for the better, because I'm sure Camila's audience is way more interested in pop than hip-hop, especially from her. As far as mixing pop and hip-hop, in my opinion, Havana and even My Oh My were stronger efforts and seem more fitting not only for Camila, but for what her fans likely expected. They're pop, but also include hip-hop, which was par for the course at the time, then also reference Camila's roots. Both Havana and My Oh My have rap features, but still actually allow Camila to sing. Out of these three songs, OMG definitely has the least to offer, and dare I say, the song is kind of boring and repetitive. Maybe boring isn't fair, but to me the song lacks identity. Any of the pop
I already forgot that song
girls at the
already.
time could have put out OMG, but they all couldn't have put out Havana, I don't think. When one of her fans mentioned OMG on Twitter, Camila tweeted, I'm throwing up in response. It doesn't seem like she's expanded more on her feelings about OMG outside of the tweet, but that makes it clear enough. And in the end, Havana was Camila's first solo #1, earned her a VMA, an AMA, a Teen Choice Award, and even a Grammy nomination. Former President Barack Obama also included Havana on his 2017 end-of-year playlist, though OMG didn't make the cut.
I still refuse to play premium.
While everyone feels about Put Your Hearts Up,
Oh,
she
not
took
this
fans by
one.
surprise when she admitted she finds Touch It boring. She announced this for the first time during a soundcheck on
This
her
song's just
Sweeter
bleh.
tour, where she took questions from fans. Later, Ariana doubled down in response to
I heard it about a year ago and I'm just like, ugh.
borderline, but finds Touch It boring. After saying this, Touch It
Nah.
started trending on Twitter, and there was a surge in streams. Touch It is included on the deluxe version of Ariana's third album, Dangerous Woman. Though the Max Martin song has a very bombastic EDM synth chorus, the song is very repetitive and formulaic. It feels like the heavy production on the chorus that bleeds into the rest of the song does most of the heavy lifting. But if you listen instead to the lyrics and Ariana's vocals on Touch It, I do think you can see why she finds the song boring. The lyrics could have fit a more sultry, sexy type song, but the production is just so jarring that it can't get its point across. Touch It is not terrible, but it's not really a standout in Ariana's discography or even on Dangerous Woman. Charlie XCX has spoken up about hating Break the Rules, the lead single from...
Oh, that song's a good song though.
Charlie never meant to keep Break the Rules, having written it at a writing camp with her producers Benny Blanco and Stargate. Charlie wrote Break the Rules while she was sort of in a punk phase, she told BuzzFeed. The song is inspired by a lot of things I was listening to whilst in Sweden at the end of last year. I spent about a month making a punk record and covering songs by Swedish punk bands like Snuff by the Yakuza and stuff. This song was written when I came out of the other side of that punk phase and translated into something more pop. Obviously, it's about not giving a fuck. Later, Charlie admitted she felt that she made a rash decision when it came to putting Break the Rules on Sucker, and her label made it the lead single, which she actually didn't want. Ironically, Charlie had thought at the time of writing Break the Rules that whoever took the song was an idiot, and later admitted she'd screwed herself over by even writing the song at all. In 2020, Charlie said Break the Rules was the one song she didn't really feel good while making. Break the Rules is a song about teenage reckless abandon, supported by the chorus, I don't want to go to school, I just want to break the rules. Some critics praised Charlie's petulant punk rock attitude in the song, while others felt that Break the Rules was uninspired and sort of cheesy. Charlie herself rarely performs the song, and on the rare occasions that she does, she said it's never at her own shows. In an interview with Q, Charlie said she planned to be more intentional with the songs she wrote and included on her next album, hoping to focus more on partying with that record. Of course, the album Charlie was referring to was her ill-fated scrap third album, nicknamed XCX World. Down in the comments, be sure to let me know what sort of regretted song just blows your mind. As in, I just can't believe that they regret making that song. Because for me, it's Telephone. Like, you know, I love Gaga.
Me, it's Break the
She was my
Rules.
first concert, so I've actually seen her perform Telephone live. And it's just that song. Maybe it's my favorite Gaga song. Maybe it's one of my favorite Gaga songs. Maybe it's one of my favorite pop songs, honestly. But down in the comments, like I said, be sure to let me know what regretted song is just mind-blowing to you. As always, thank you so very much.
To me, the mind-blowing one has got to be Break the Rules. A few others I can't think of, but like it will come back to me when I look through the comments of this. Burrito. I mean, I like to Break the Rules, but then again, when I first heard it, I was like 15, 16, and I'm pretty sure I finished like year 11 like months later after I first heard that song. But yeah, like I say, 2015 was a different time. Some of the songs I liked back then, I do not like now. Now I hear them, I'm just like, I liked this shit. That's how you know something was a phase to you, when you look back on that with such regret and such disdain, like, I liked this shit. Regret. Alas, we all learn from mistakes. But yeah. Now, Wrecking Ball though, my size will never ever live that one down, right? Never. She'll probably know the one swinging naked at Wrecking Ball. Miley, you know how you feel in that regard. There's a lot of things I've done over the past 2 decades of my life that I regret so much, which people I know will never, ever let me live it down. In fact, whenever they start bringing up that shit in front of strangers, I'm so quick to cover their mouths. I'm like, no. Either you keep quiet or I'm gonna pull out your tongue. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm holding. I could easily pull out your tongue right now. But yeah. Hey, so stop around to comments to see what people saying right now. Nicki's tripping for not liking Your Love. It's classic and it's a good song. I'm like, it's a classic, but like, it's not my favourite of hers, that's for sure. It goes to like Roman Reloaded or Only, just being honest. But yeah, I find it a coincidence that artists end up hating songs that either made them famous or becomes their signature tune. Sometimes I wonder, do they end up hating it because of how extremely popular the songs become and it overshadows other work, the work they've done they felt was better? I'm like, you never know, maybe a bit from column A, a bit from column B. But that being said, some of the songs that got them big, right, they're good and all that, but they get overplayed to the point where you just get sick of them. But now, but some people, right, like some people's unreleased stuff that got leaked on, like, that get leaked on YouTube, right? Some of that unreleased stuff sounds better than the actual official things that they put out. It's actually nuts. Like, oh, what can I use as an example? Let's Get Weird or Joker. Just saying. I think Apple should have put out Joker, and add it to Love Sucks, but that's just my opinion. And Out of Control would have been a good one to put out. Someone said, I used to be obsessed with Touch It because I love dark synth pop songs. I'm surprised that Kanye hated Gold Digger. I'm like, yeah, I'm shocked by that one too. That song was a good one. That one was a banger. But obviously, most of these were pop songs, weren't they? Obviously, I don't like the typical bubblegum pop though. Like, I like a bit of like pop rock, hip hop, and pop mixed together. I like them commands. I don't like pure pop. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe when I was a kid, yeah, but now I'm older. I'm like, no. The most bubblegum pop songs, when they're played, I'm just like, blech, in regards to some of them. Not all of them, just some. Someone said, the first thought I had when reading the title, Whip My Hair by Willow Smith, hearing the story of how her parents forced her to release those songs and perform them when she kept telling them she didn't want to, only to shave her own head so they had no choice but to leave her alone. My jaw was on the floor. Damn. That one should have been on here then. But I mean, Transparent Soul was a good song though. But now that song that she did with MGK, I cannot hear that one because it's been overplayed so much because TikTok that I'm like, no, that song, I can't stand it. Was it Emo Girl? I can't stand that one now. Someone said, would love part 2 with Taylor, SZA, Dua and Doja. Well, you know, maybe she might make a part 2 at some point down the line. Someone said, as an artist, I understand why they don't like some of their most popular songs. You never know what the people will like versus what stimulates you as an artist. The two don't always mix. Yeah, very much true. But yeah, this one was pretty interesting, mind you. A lot of these songs I know about. Whether I like the songs or not, that's up for debate. I didn't like a lot of them, except for Your Love and Gold Digger and Break the Rules. But that's my opinion on that. You know what they say, one man's trash, another man's treasure. But yeah, interesting vid though. But yeah, I'ma head out. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want. I post if whenever I feel like it, and I'll see you next one. Bye.